Hi everyone, this is Fidge the Hedgehog and welcome to this video. I'm here with my two vintage Sonics. And actually I really love the little vintage streak of these ones. I really enjoy them. I was so pleased I could actually collect them and still have them in my collection. This was the very first one that I could collect and I just love his furriness. He's so furry and he looks so cute. I think he also has a very decent look in his eyes, a very tough and very unsure look, a look that says I'm Sonic and I'm just right here, I'm so fast. He's just really sure of himself. He just has such a sweet look, and his little ears just remind me of hedgehog ears, so just really super cute. And even his belly is just so furry. And actually he comes from the same guy who actually sold me this bed set, which I was also very lucky to collect, because such a bed set is extremely hard to find here in Belgium. And I just came across it on Facebook. I could get it for a very honest price. This was a guy that I got off eBay. Also a little vintage guy. Apparently another plush that someone just wanted to get rid of. He is actually missing the white stripes on the white markings on his sneakers or on his shoes. But still, I think he also really looks quite decent. I love their simple vintage look. The material they are made of, they are awesome. I'm a big fan of those vintage Sonic plush, apparently. I also like the modern ones as well, but I think they still have a very charming way to be. And actually, a while ago, I came across another vintage Sonic, which is actually even larger than these two. It was love at first sight, so I hope the item will look as good as the picture has inspired me. And the package is right here. It just got delivered. I was not quite sure the package would come today, because mostly the people who bring them just ask for a signature, and if when you're not home, they just take the package away. But instead, this person just stuffed it violently into our mailbox, and I think we never had a package in such a bad condition before. Even the packages that I sent to Katie when they arrived don't look so bad. So, yeah, I don't really understand. Actually, I'm glad it's delivered, absolutely. But still, the way it is delivered, look how terrible, it's just terrible. It took me 2 or 3 minutes to pull this out of our mailbox, and I had to damage the package even more to pull it out. But as you can see, with the right commitment and the right level of strength, you might just be able to... apparently, our mailbox can fit anything. Or any package can fit our mailbox. So, yeah. This will contain the 22-inch vintage Sonic plush. He has a few issues, but I didn't really mind about those. It was kind of love at first sight, so I really hope this is going to be a nice one. There he is. Poor guy. Now, in fact, this package also required a signature, but yeah, sometimes they just push it in the mailbox just to make sure they don't have to make their way to the doorbell. Just imagine the mailman standing there like, this package is too big, and then you say, no, it's not, just push. I can just imagine that right now. It's just, oh man. It's like the stuff that Mr. Bean would go through, right? Now, let's pull this guy out. So his head is kind of large. He's just as furry as this guy. I think this guy should actually be the equivalent of this guy in a larger size. I know his mouth had an issue. I'm gonna see what I can do about this. Maybe I can just sew it back. And I think I might know a way. Watching it like this. I'll find out. There he is. So the picture actually that I didn't really have of this guy is his face watching just towards me like this, because the face was photographed like this. But it was actually showed in this way. There you go. So if his face doesn't look too good, you will just get used to it. Believe me, I have a lot of experience with this. So the poor guy was put out of his misery. Oh, what a shame. There he is. So this guy has the large shoes with his little ribbons, his little markings on his shoes. There you go. This guy kind of reminds me of the live action Sonic, which wasn't very particularly appreciated. But still, I think the furry legs really remind me of him. Even though his legs don't really look human, the furry belly and his legs, sorry, but it's just totally him. The legs aren't stuffed, they're just, yeah. I can still stuff them, but I don't think I will do so. He's just furry and soft. And as you can see, it's like the same shade of color on this guy. I don't think there is a need for washing this guy because he's actually in a very nice condition. Just that the stitching of his neck might be easily damaged. Not because of the bad quality, but because I might just drag him around like this. So that's what I'm going to be careful about. I'm gonna check if I can repair this tomorrow. Just put his mouth back. Are you sure I can do this? Apparently his mouth is kind of long. He has like, yeah, here he has like a little hole beginning to come in the neck, but I think that's still pretty okay. The arms are stuffed, and the arms actually feel exactly the same as this little guy here. It's like the same hands, the same small hands as the live action Sonic. I never came across this plush before, but when I saw him and I saw the price, and he was, well, these plush are plush. I tried to get in a used condition because I know because of that reason the price drops or isn't very, is pretty affordable. I'm gonna say it like that. His ears are also really, really soft. It's actually exactly this plush, but in a larger size. Absolutely. This guy is 12 inch from head to his feet, and this guy is 22 inch. Let's have a look at the back. He has like very furry quills and two large stubs on his back. His tail is also pretty. I see he has a tiny little hole in the tail. I'll see if I can just repair that tomorrow as well. Still, it's quite long, of course. I did not see the tail of the live action Sonic. I would like to know if he has a tail, but I guess he does. He also feels the same, but I washed this guy, of course. And he's really furry. He's really, really furry. So he has no beans in him. Let's make a little comparison. These plush don't contain any beans, as far as I can feel. Not in the hands, not in the muzzle, not in the feet, not in the butt. They're just regular soft stuffing. And actually they're quite comparable. The way the hands here just go over into his gloves. Just that here his hands aren't stuffed. Just like the legs you have here. Here the legs have like the same, they're not stuffed. Here the arms are a bit stuffed. The legs are not. And he still has the same white markings on his shoes. And also the socks here. You have his fur coming over his socks, what I think is just so cute. That's the way it looks on the large one. I don't think the look in his eyes is as pretty as the one here. Maybe you can tell me why. I think it's the position of his left eye. And the positions of this guy's eyes here compared with his brow. It makes some kind of a tough scowl, something of a... It just finishes the look in his eyes. Here his eyes, this eye is a bit floating in the middle of the space. And here his eye is well connected to his brow, I'm gonna say. But it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit like, it's not exactly well positioned, but these are things you really get used to. I'm glad I found this guy in a larger size. I just loved him as soon as I saw him, and he's actually really soft. You can just brush him, and then he will just look so soft and so cute. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. This guy is just awesome. Now his tag doesn't say much. I have no idea in which year this guy was manufactured or released. But like I said, I get these guys in a used condition just to make sure they're affordable. I'm pretty sure you might find one who sells them in a new condition. But I don't pay such prices for them. Not if I can be pleased with something in a used condition as well. So is there something more I can show you? This guy is another model. I have no idea. His hair is rough. It's kind of rough. This guy should be about 16 or 17 inch. I'm not going to compare him with the Sonic from the package because they're just not similar. And as I can't really tell you which brand they are and in which year they were released, my review just won't be complete. So I don't think that there's just much sense doing it. Still, these guys are quite similar. And let me know if you have some questions about them. I can always try to answer them. His nose is just a little, yeah, well, it's a nice little piece coming out of his muzzle. Is really adorable. It's not stuffed actually. It doesn't really come out, so obviously, but it's still quite decent. It's not a sticking out SpongeBob nose, but it's really like an adorable. It's like a little blueberry on his muzzle. And here you have like a larger nose, and his nose sticks out. It's not exactly the same nose as some of my other Sonics have. Like for example, this guy here has. It's a bit of a different nose, but rather more typical for the classic Sonic. There you go. He's super soft. Here his ears really stick to his head. They barely come up. But it's not exactly necessary because you can still see them. And they really remind me of hedgehog ears, just like on a real hedgehog. The ears barely come out. It's hard to see them sometimes. Sometimes they're just hidden in the fur around their head. And that's just, yeah, what you can see on this plush. Here the ears have kind of the same shape, but they are still a bit more, yeah. They're composed with more material as well. What I can tell you is that this guy has kind of large eyes, actually, large pupils, compared with this guy. And I think for some reason that makes him look more decent, this guy. But I still have to get used to his special look. A little hedgy. So yeah, I think this is going to be it for this video. Put this one here. This is actually a general overview. But it's a nice fluffy plush, really. He's so soft as well. Like this, I have 3 vintage Sonics. Just gonna put them next to each other. I barely get Sonic plush in these days. But that's because I'm really looking for particular stuff in the right condition and with the right price, which makes it sometimes a bit tough to find nice Sonic stuff because in general it's really expensive. There you go, that's what they look like. Now, I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye!